The cargo ship landed with a soft thud on the metal platform. Junwoo stretched his arms above his head and yawned. It had been a long flight from the inner colonies to this remote trading outpost. His muscles ached from sitting in the pilot seat for hours. Finally here, Tae-min said from the co-pilot seat. He was already unbuckling his safety straps. Let's unload this stuff and get out of here. This place gives me bad feelings. Junwoo looked out the window at Draker Prime's trading outpost. The place was busy with aliens and humans walking around. Some had scales, some had fur, and some looked almost human, but with strange colored skin. Everyone was here to trade goods and make deals. It's not so bad, Junwoo said with a smile. Just another delivery job. Tae-min shook his head. You always see the good in everything. That's going to get you in trouble someday. They opened the cargo bay and started moving the heavy boxes onto floating platforms. The outpost wanted medical supplies and food packages. Nothing special or exciting. Just normal work for two cargo haulers trying to make a living in the galaxy. After an hour of unloading, Junwoo signed the delivery papers. The station manager paid them in credits, and Tae-min was already talking about finding a good meal before they left. I saw a noodle shop near the docking bay, Tae-min said. Real human food, not that weird alien stuff. Junwoo laughed. Alien food isn't that bad. You should try new things. No thanks. I like my food to actually look like food. They walked through the busy streets of the outpost. The air smelled like engine oil mixed with strange spices from the food vendors. Alien-spoken languages Junwoo didn't understand. Some were arguing about prices. Others were laughing with friends. That's when Junwoo heard it. A soft crying sound coming from somewhere nearby. He stopped walking and turned his head to listen better. What's wrong? Tae-min asked. Do you hear that? Someone's crying. Tae-min listened for a moment. I don't hear anything. Come on, I'm hungry. But Junwoo couldn't ignore it. The crying sounded so sad and scared. It reminded him of when his little sister used to cry after having nightmares. You go ahead, Junwoo said. I'll catch up with you. Tae-min groaned. Seriously? You're going to play hero again. I just want to check if someone needs help. Fine, but if you get in trouble, don't blame me. Tae-min walked toward the noodle shop, shaking his head. Junwoo followed the sound of crying. It led him to a narrow alley between two warehouse buildings. Garbage containers and old cargo boxes were stacked everywhere. The crying got louder as he walked deeper into the alley. Then he saw her, a small child sitting behind a broken cargo container, hugging her knees to her chest. She was shaking and tears ran down her face. Hey there, Junwoo said softly, kneeling down to her level. He didn't want to scare her. Are you okay? The child looked up at him with big golden eyes. She had dark hair that fell over her face, but Junwoo could see something unusual. Small patches of silver-blue scales covered parts of her arms. Two tiny horns poked out from her forehead, barely visible under her hair. She wasn't fully human, but Junwoo didn't care about that. All he saw was a frightened child who needed help. It's okay, he said gently. I'm not going to hurt you. Are you lost? The child just stared at him and cried harder. She pulled her knees closer to her chest, trying to make herself smaller. Junwoo looked around the alley. No adults were nearby. No one seemed to be looking for her. How did a child end up alone in a place like this? He took off his jacket and held it out to her. Here, you must be cold. The child looked at the jacket, but didn't take it. She was still scared. Junwoo moved slowly. He wrapped the jacket around her small shoulders. She flinched at first, but then grabbed the jacket with her tiny hands. Her fingers had small claws instead of regular nails. There you go, Junwoo said with a warm smile. Better? The child stopped crying for a moment. She looked at Junwoo like she was trying to figure out if he was safe or dangerous. Are you hungry? Junwoo asked. He pulled out a food bar from his pocket. It wasn't much, but it was something. I have this. You can have it if you want. He unwrapped the food bar and broke off a piece. The child watched him carefully. When he held out the piece to her, she hesitated. Then slowly, she reached out and took it. She ate the food quickly, like she hadn't eaten in a long time. Junwoo gave her the rest of the bar and watched as she finished it all. "Good," he said. "Now, where are your parents? Who takes care of you?" The child didn't answer. She just looked at him with those golden eyes full of fear and sadness. Junwoo sat down on the ground next to her. He didn't try to grab her or force her to do anything. He just sat there quietly, letting her know she wasn't alone anymore. After a few minutes, the child moved closer to him. She was still wrapped in his jacket. Then, very slowly, she leaned against his side. Junwoo felt his heart break a little. This poor child had been through something terrible. He didn't know what, but he could feel it. "It's okay now," he whispered. "You're safe. I promise." The child grabbed onto his shirt with her small clawed hands and buried her face in his side. She started crying again, but this time it was different. It was like she was finally letting out all the fear she had been holding inside. Junwoo gently patted her back, the way his mother used to comfort him when he was young. "Sure, it's okay. Everything's going to be okay." He didn't know how long they sat there in that dirty alley. Time seemed to stop. All that mattered was making this child feel safe. Finally, Junwoo heard footsteps. Taemin appeared at the entrance of the alley, holding 2 bowls of noodles. "I knew you'd do something like this," Taemin said, but his voice was softer now. Even he couldn't be annoyed when he saw the crying child. "Who is she?" "I don't know," Junwoo said quietly, "but we need to help her find her family." Taemin sighed. "You know, getting involved with alien kids can be complicated, right? There are laws and rules." "She's just a child, Taemin. She's scared and alone." Taemin looked at the girl for a moment, then nodded. "Fine, but we're taking her to the station authorities. They can figure out who she belongs to." Junwoo stood up carefully, still holding the child. She clung to him tightly, refusing to let go. "Come on," Junwoo said gently to her. "Let's get you somewhere safe." The child didn't speak, but she wrapped her arms around his neck and held on. Junwoo carried her out of the alley, back toward the main streets of the outpost. He had no idea who this child was. He didn't know that her name was Hannah. He didn't know she was the heir to the most powerful empire in the galaxy. He didn't know that finding her would change his entire life. All he knew was that a child needed help, and he couldn't walk away. As they walked through the streets, Junwoo didn't notice the shadowy figures watching them from the rooftops. Dragon warriors in dark armor observed silently, their hands on their weapons. They had been searching for the princess for days, and now a human had found her. The warriors didn't attack. They watched and waited, trying to understand if this human was a threat or something else entirely. The princess seemed calm in his arms. That was strange. She had fought against everyone else who tried to help her. One warrior spoke into a communication device. "We found her. She's with a human male. He appears to be helping her." A voice responded through the device. "Follow them. Do not engage unless the princess is in danger. We need to see what this human wants." The warriors melted back into the shadows, following Junwoo as he carried the most important child in the Dragon Empire toward an uncertain future. Junwoo carried the small child through the busy streets. She still held on to him tightly, her face buried in his shoulder. People stared as they passed by. Some aliens whispered to each other, pointing at the girl with scales and horns. Taemin walked beside them, looking around nervously. "We should hurry. I don't like all this attention." They reached the medical center, where Junwoo's sister worked. Myri was checking inventory when they walked in. She looked up and her eyes went wide. "Junwoo? What's going on?" She hurried over to them. "I found her in an alley," Junwoo explained. "She was alone and crying. I think she might be hurt or sick." Myri looked at the child carefully. She could see the scales and small horns right away. "She's not human. Do you know what species she is?" "No idea," Junwoo said. "Can you check if she's okay?" "She won't talk to me." Myri nodded and led them to a private room. "Put her on the bed. Let me scan her." But when Junwoo tried to set the child down, she grabbed onto him harder. Her small claws dug into his shirt. She made a scared whimpering sound. "It's okay," Junwoo said softly. "This is my sister. She's a doctor. She just wants to help you feel better." The child looked at Myri with those big golden eyes. She seemed afraid, but didn't cry this time. Myri smiled warmly. "Hello there. I'm not going to hurt you. I promise." She moved slowly, letting the child see everything she was doing. "I'm just going to use the scanner. It won't hurt at all. See?" She demonstrated on Junwoo's arm first. The child watched carefully. After a moment, she loosened her grip on Junwoo just a little. Myri ran the medical scanner over the child. The device beeped and showed information on a screen. Myri's face became more serious as she read the results. "What is it?" Junwoo asked. "She's exhausted and dehydrated. Looks like she hasn't eaten properly in days. But physically, she's not injured." Myri looked at the child with concern. "Her DNA doesn't match anything in my database. I've never seen this species before." "That's strange," Taemin said. "This outpost has records of thousands of alien species." Myri checked the database again. Nothing. It's like she doesn't exist in any official records. The child suddenly reached out and grabbed Myri's hand. Everyone froze. The child looked at Myri, then at the medical equipment, then back at Myri. She made a small sound, almost like she was trying to say something. "It's okay, sweetie," Myri said gently. "You're safe here." Junwoo sat down on the bed next to the child. "Can you give her something to eat and drink?" "Of course." Myri left the room and came back with water and some simple food. The child drank the water quickly, then ate the food Myri offered. She was clearly very hungry. While the child ate, Taemin made a call to station security. A man named Kyung-soo arrived 20 minutes later. He was a security chief, a serious-looking man with tired eyes. "So you found an abandoned child?" Kyung-soo asked, looking at the girl. He tried to smile at her, but she hid behind Junwoo. She was alone in an alley near the cargo district. Junwoo explained. Kyung-soo took out a data pad and started making notes. "I'll check the missing persons reports. Someone must be looking for her." He took a picture of the child with his pad. "Those scales and horns. She might be from one of the dragon species, but I've never seen one this young before." "Dragon species?" Junwoo asked. "There are several species in the galaxy that have dragon-like features." Kyung-soo explained. "They're usually from the outer territories. Very private people. They don't come to outposts like this very often." He looked at the child again. "I'll run this through every database we have. If someone reported her missing, we'll find out." After Kyung-soo left, Myri gave Junwoo a serious look. "What are you planning to do with her?" "I don't know," Junwoo admitted. "I can't just leave her alone." "She can't stay at the medical center," Myri said. "We don't have facilities for that." The child was looking at Junwoo again. She seemed calmer now that she had eaten and drunk water, but she still wouldn't let go of his hand. "I guess she's staying with me until we find her family," Junwoo said. Taemin groaned. "This is a bad idea. We don't know anything about her or where she came from. What else can I do? Leave her in some government facility? Look at her, Taemin. She's terrified." Taemin looked at the child and sighed. "Fine, but if this causes problems, I'm saying I told you so." Junwoo took the child back to his small apartment near the docking bay. It wasn't much, just 2 rooms and a tiny kitchen. But it was home. He found some old blankets and made a comfortable spot for the child on the couch. She sat down but kept watching him, like she was afraid he might leave. "I'm not going anywhere." Junwoo said, "You can sleep here tonight. Tomorrow we'll figure out how to find your family." The child curled up on the couch, still wearing Junwoo's jacket. She looked so small and vulnerable. Junwoo made some simple rice and vegetables for dinner. The child ate slowly this time, watching everything he did. She seemed fascinated by the kitchen equipment and how he cooked the food. After dinner, Junwoo tried to communicate with her. "Can you tell me your name?" The child just looked at him silently. "Okay, that's fine. You don't have to talk if you don't want to." He pointed at himself. "I'm Junwoo." "Junwoo." He pointed at her. "What's your name?" Still nothing. But the child tilted her head slightly, like she understood but couldn't or wouldn't answer. The next few days followed the same pattern. Kyung-soo kept searching the databases, but found nothing. No missing person reports matched the child. No one came looking for her. Meanwhile, the child stayed with Junwoo. She followed him everywhere. When he went to pick up new cargo jobs, she walked right behind him. When he cooked meals, she watched from the kitchen doorway. When he tried to leave her with Myri for an hour, she cried until he came back. Slowly, the child started to show signs of trust. She stopped flinching when Junwoo moved quickly. She started eating without watching him fearfully. She even smiled once when Taemin told a silly joke. Junwoo taught her simple things. He showed her how to use the bathroom properly. He taught her how to brush her teeth. He gave her clean clothes that were way too big for her, but she seemed happy to have them. One morning, Junwoo was showing her how to play a simple card game. The child was actually laughing, making small, happy sounds. Taemin was watching from the kitchen. "You're getting attached," Taemin said quietly. "I know," Junwoo replied. "But what else can I do? No one's looking for her. That's what worries me. A child like this, with those unique features, someone should be searching for her. The fact that no one is—" Taemin didn't finish the sentence. That afternoon, something strange happened. Junwoo took the child to the market to buy food. An alien merchant was arguing with a customer in a language Junwoo didn't understand. The alien was getting angry, waving his arms around. Suddenly, the child tugged on Junwoo's hand. She pointed at the merchant and then made a gesture. It was clear she understood what they were saying. "You understand that language?" Junwoo asked, surprised. The child nodded slightly. It was the first time she had clearly responded to a question. The merchant noticed them watching. "You need something human?" "No, sorry. We're just looking," Junwoo said. As they walked away, Junwoo's mind raced. The child could understand multiple languages. That meant she was educated, probably from an important family. So, why wasn't anyone looking for her? That evening, Taemin came to the apartment with news. He looked worried. "Kyung-soo called me," he said. "There's been chatter on the communication channels. Something about the Dragon Empire searching for someone." The Dragon Empire? Junwoo had heard of them. They were one of the most powerful civilizations in the galaxy. But they kept to themselves mostly. Yeah, and get this, they're offering a huge reward for information. Taemin looked at the child, who was playing with a small toy Myri had given her. The description matches her exactly. Golden eyes, silver blue scales, small horns. Junwoo felt his stomach drop. The Dragon Empire? Junwoo, I think you've been taking care of someone very important. And I think a lot of very powerful people are looking for her. The child looked up at them, sensing the tension in the room. She walked over to Junwoo and grabbed his hand, squeezing it gently. Junwoo squeezed back, trying to smile at her, but inside he was worried. What had he gotten himself into? And more importantly, what was going to happen to this small child when the Dragon Empire finally found her? The next morning, everything changed. Junwoo woke up to the sound of alarms blaring across the outpost. He rushed to the window, and his heart stopped. Massive ships filled the sky. They were unlike anything he had ever seen before. They looked like dragons made of metal and light, with wings that glowed with energy. The child was already awake. Standing by the window, she stared at the ships with wide eyes. For the first time since Junwoo found her, she looked scared again. Taemin burst through the door without knocking. "They're here. The Dragon Empire fleet just arrived. They surrounded the entire outpost." Junwoo picked up the child and held her close. "It's okay. Everything will be okay." But he wasn't sure if that was true. His communication device buzzed. It was Kyung-soo. "Junwoo, you need to get to the main administration building right now. The Dragon Empire is demanding to speak with whoever has been caring for their princess." "Princess?" Junwoo's voice came out as a whisper. The child in his arms was a princess. Not just any child, but royalty from one of the most powerful empires in the galaxy. His legs felt weak. "Come on," Taemin said. "We can't keep them waiting. These people could destroy this whole outpost if they wanted to." Junwoo grabbed his jacket and headed out with the child. Myri met them on the street. Her face was pale with worry. "Are you okay?" she asked her brother. "I don't know yet. Junwoo replied honestly. The streets were chaos. People were running around, scared and confused. Some aliens were trying to leave the outpost. Security forces were everywhere, trying to keep order. They reached the administration building. Dragon warriors in beautiful silver armor stood at every entrance. They had the same scales and features as a child, but they were tall and powerful looking. Each one carried weapons that hummed with energy. One warrior stepped forward. "You are the human called Junwoo?" "Yes," Junwoo said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Come with us. Admiral Hyunwoo wishes to speak with you." They were led through the building to a large conference room. More dragon warriors lined the walls. At the head of the table stood a tall dragon man in dark blue armor decorated with gold symbols. His eyes were sharp and intelligent. This was Admiral Hyunwoo. Next to him stood a woman with tears running down her face. She wore the uniform of a royal guard, but her armor looked damaged and burned in places. When the woman saw the child in Junwoo's arms, she let out a sob. Princess Hannah. The child, Hannah, looked at the woman and her eyes filled with tears. "Jiwon," Hannah whispered. It was the first word anyone had heard her speak, besides that one time she said "safe" to Junwoo. Jiwon fell to her knees, crying, "I'm so sorry, my princess. I failed to protect you. I failed your mother." Admiral Hyunwoo raised his hand for silence. He looked at Junwoo with an expression that was hard to read. "You are the human who found Princess Hannah?" "I found her crying in an alley," Junwoo said. "She was alone and scared. I didn't know who she was. I just wanted to help." "Tell me everything," the Admiral commanded. So Junwoo told the story. How he heard crying and found Hannah behind a cargo container. How she wouldn't speak or let anyone else near her. How he had been taking care of her for days, trying to find her family. Admiral Hyunwoo listened without interrupting. When Junwoo finished, the Admiral was quiet for a long moment. Then he did something that shocked everyone in the room. He bowed. It was a deep bow, showing great respect. "You have my gratitude, human. You saved the most important person in our empire." The other dragon warriors all bowed as well. Junwoo didn't know what to say. "I was just helping a child who needed help." Ji-won stood up, wiping her tears. "Please, let me explain what happened." She looked at Hannah with guilt and pain in her eyes. 3 weeks ago, there was an attack on the Imperial Palace. A man named Diyun, who serves on the Emperor's council, led a rebellion. He wanted to take the throne for himself. Admiral Hyunwoo's face darkened. Diyun's forces attacked during the night. Many loyal warriors died defending the royal family. The Empress, Ji-won's voice broke. Empress Soare fought to protect Princess Hannah. She ordered me to take the princess and run. I tried, but Diyun's soldiers caught us. They took the princess. Fresh tears fell from her eyes. I thought I would never see her again. How did she escape? Junwoo asked, holding Hannah a little closer. "We don't know exactly," Admiral Hyunwoo said. Diyun was transporting her to a secret location. Somehow, she got away from her captors. She must have hidden on a cargo ship that brought her to this outpost. Junwoo looked down at Hannah. She had been through so much. No wonder she was so scared and wouldn't talk. She had watched her mother die and been kidnapped by terrible people. What happened to her mother? Junwoo asked quietly. The Admiral's expression became sad. Empress Soare died protecting her daughter. She was a great warrior and a beloved leader. Her death has broken Emperor Sengho's heart. Hannah made a small crying sound. Junwoo held her closer and gently stroked her hair. The Emperor has been searching everywhere for his daughter, Admiral Hyunwoo continued. Without Princess Hannah, our empire is at risk. Diyun claims the throne should be his since the heir was lost. Many people don't know what to believe. The empire is close to civil war, Ji-won added. We need to bring the princess home immediately. Junwoo understood. Of course they needed to take Hannah back to her father. But when he tried to hand her to Ji-won, Hannah grabbed onto him tightly and shook her head. "No," Hannah said clearly. It was only the second word she had spoken. "Stay with Junwoo." Everyone stared. Ji-won looked hurt. Admiral Hyunwoo looked amazed. Princess, Ji-won said gently, we need to take you home to your father. No, Hannah said louder. She buried her face in Junwoo's shoulder. Safe. Junwoo safe. Admiral Hyunwoo studied Junwoo carefully. She trusts you. In all the time we searched for her, she never spoke. She must have been traumatized by everything that happened. But with you, she feels safe enough to talk again. I don't understand, Junwoo said. I'm nobody special. I'm just a cargo hauler. You showed her kindness when she needed it most, the Admiral said. That is not something common in this galaxy, even among those who claim to be noble. Ji-won wiped her eyes. There's an old prophecy in our empire. It speaks of a time when darkness would fall upon the air. A wingless guardian with a pure heart would appear to restore the light. Wingless guardian, Admiral Hyunwoo said, looking at Junwoo. Humans have no wings, and you found our princess in her darkest moment. Junwoo didn't believe in prophecies, but he could see that these people did. The Emperor wishes to meet you, Admiral Hyunwoo said. He wants to thank the person who saved his daughter. He has sent a formal invitation for you to come to the Imperial homeworld. The homeworld. Junwoo felt dizzy. This was all too much. Yesterday, he was just a simple cargo hauler. Now he was being invited to meet an emperor. You don't have to come, the Admiral said. But I think it would help Princess Hannah. She needs stability right now. She needs someone she trusts. Junwoo looked at Hannah. She was looking up at him with those big golden eyes, silently begging him not to leave her. How could he say no? Okay, Junwoo said. I'll come, but my friends come with me. He gestured to Taemin and Myri. Admiral Hyunwoo nodded. Of course. They are welcome as honored guests. Taemin groaned quietly. I knew this was going to get complicated. But even Taemin couldn't hide the small smile on his face when Hannah looked at him and gave him a tiny wave. Prepare the ship, Admiral Hyunwoo ordered his warriors. We leave for the homeworld immediately. Emperor Sangho needs to know his daughter is alive and safe. As they left the administration building, Junwoo saw dragon warriors bowing to him as he passed. People whispered and pointed. News was spreading fast. A simple human cargo hauler had saved the dragon princess. Junwoo held Hannah close as they walked toward the dragon ships. He had no idea what waited for him on the Imperial homeworld. He didn't know how to act around emperors and nobles. He was just a regular person who had helped a crying child. But as Hannah squeezed his hand and smiled up at him for the first time, Junwoo knew he had made the right choice. Whatever happened next, he would face it, because sometimes doing the right thing means stepping into the unknown. The dragon ships launched into space, carrying Junwoo toward a destiny he never imagined, and in his arms, a little princess finally felt safe enough to hope again. The journey to the Imperial homeworld took 3 days. Junwoo spent most of that time with Hannah in their quarters on the dragon ship. She still didn't talk much, but she stayed close to him always. When she did speak, it was only a few words at a time. Myri helped take care of Hannah during the trip. She brought the child new clothes that actually fit and taught her how to braid her hair. Taemin tried to make Hannah laugh by making funny faces. It worked sometimes. Admiral Hyunwoo visited them each day. He told Junwoo about dragon culture and customs, so he wouldn't embarrass himself in front of the Emperor. When you meet Emperor Sengho, bow deeply, the Admiral explained. Don't speak unless he speaks to you first, and never turn your back on him when you leave the room. Junwoo tried to remember everything, but it was a lot of rules. He was just a cargo hauler. He didn't know how to act around royalty. On the 3rd day, they arrived at the Imperial homeworld. Junwoo looked out the ship's window and couldn't believe what he saw. Mountains floated in the sky, held up by some kind of ancient technology. Massive palaces made of crystal and gold sat on top of the floating mountains. Waterfalls fell from the mountains into clouds below, creating rainbows everywhere. It's beautiful, Myri whispered, standing next to her brother. It's terrifying, Taemin said. These people are so advanced. We're like children compared to them. The ship landed at the largest palace. Dragon warriors lined the landing platform. Crowds of dragon people had gathered to see their princess return home. When Junwoo stepped off the ship with Hannah, the crowd erupted in cheers. Hannah hit her face against his shoulder, overwhelmed by all the noise and people. "It's okay," Junwoo said softly to her. "They're just happy to see you." Admiral Hyunwoo led them through the palace. The hallways were enormous, with ceilings so high Junwoo couldn't see the top. Paintings and tapestries covered the walls, showing the history of the Dragon Empire. Servants bowed as they passed. Finally, they reached a massive throne room. The doors opened slowly, and Junwoo's breath caught in his throat. The room was bigger than any building he had ever seen. Pillars made of crystal rose up to support the ceiling. The floor was polished stone that reflected everything like a mirror. At the far end of the room sat a man on a golden throne. Even from a distance, Junwoo could feel the power radiating from him. This was Emperor Sengho. The emperor stood as they approached. He was tall and strong-looking, with silver-gray scales and dark horns. But his eyes looked tired and sad. This was a man who had lost someone he loved. "Hannah!" The emperor's voice echoed through the throne room. It was barely a whisper, but everyone heard it. Hannah looked up from Junwoo's shoulder. She saw her father and tears filled her eyes. "Papa." Emperor Sengho rushed down from his throne. He didn't walk slowly like a proper emperor should. He ran like any father would run to his lost child. He fell to his knees in front of Junwoo and Hannah. Tears ran down his face. "My daughter, my precious daughter. I thought I had lost you forever." Hannah reached out to her father, and he took her in his arms. He held her so tightly and cried so hard that everyone in the throne room had tears in their eyes too. Junwoo stepped back to give them space. He felt Myri squeeze his hand. Even Taemin was wiping his eyes. Emperor Sengho held his daughter for a long time. He whispered things to her in their dragon language. Hannah cried and held on to him. This was a moment between father and daughter. Nothing else mattered. Finally, the emperor looked up at Junwoo. His eyes were red from crying, but there was gratitude in them. "You," he said, "you brought my daughter back to me." Junwoo bowed the way Admiral Hyunwoo had taught him. "I only did what anyone should do, Your Majesty. I helped a child who needed help." Emperor Sengho stood up, still holding Hannah. "Not anyone. Most people would have ignored her cries. Others would have used her for profit or power. But you showed her kindness with no expectation of reward." He bowed to Junwoo, and the entire court gasped. An emperor should never bow to anyone. But Sengho bowed deeply to the simple human. "You have given me back my reason to live," the emperor said. "How can I ever repay such a gift?" "You don't need to repay me," Junwoo said quickly. "Seeing her safe with her family is enough." But Hannah suddenly squirmed in her father's arms. She reached out toward Junwoo. "Stay. Junwoo, stay." Emperor Sengho looked at his daughter, then at Junwoo. "She wants you to stay?" Junwoo didn't know what to say. He looked at Hannah and saw fear in her eyes. She was afraid he would leave her. "Since the attack," the emperor said quietly, "Hannah has not been herself. She stopped eating. She stopped speaking. She had nightmares every night." He looked at Junwoo with understanding. "But with you, she found her voice again. She feels safe." A man in elegant robes stepped forward. This was Minister Jae-sung, the emperor's most trusted advisor. "Your Majesty, perhaps we should consider an unusual arrangement." "What do you suggest?" the emperor asked. "Make this human the princess's official guardian," Minister Jae-sung said. "Let him stay at the palace and care for her while she heals from her trauma." The court erupted in whispers. Some nobles looked angry. Others looked curious. One noble stepped forward. "This is outrageous. A human cannot be given such an honor. He has no training, no noble blood, no understanding of our ways." "He has something more important," Emperor Sengho said firmly. "He has my daughter's trust. And after everything she has been through, that is what matters most." Junwoo felt overwhelmed. "Your Majesty, I don't know if I can do this. I'm not educated in your customs. I don't know how to be a guardian to a princess." Emperor Sengho walked over to him, still carrying Hannah. You already are her guardian. You have been since the moment you found her crying in that alley. All I'm asking is that you continue what you've been doing. Help her feel safe. Help her heal. Junwoo looked at Hannah. She was looking at him with hope in her golden eyes. How could he say no to that face? What about my sister, my friend? Junwoo asked, Can they stay too? Of course, the Emperor said. They will be honored guests. Your sister can work with our medical staff. Your friend can serve as your advisor. Timin leaned over and whispered, I can't believe I'm about to live in a palace. This is insane. Myri smiled. Say yes, brother. That little girl needs you. Junwoo took a deep breath. Okay, I'll stay, but only until Hannah doesn't need me anymore. Emperor Sangho smiled for the first time. Thank you. You don't know what this means to me. Suddenly, alarms started blaring throughout the palace. Dragon warriors rushed into the throne room. One warrior shouted, Your Majesty, Diyun's forces are attacking the outer defenses. They've allied with the Krell mercenaries. The Emperor's face became hard. He knows Hannah is home. He's making his move. Admiral Hyunwoo stepped forward. We can defend the palace, Your Majesty. Our forces are ready. No, a voice said from the back of the throne room. A woman in diplomatic robes walked forward. This was Young Mi, a human ambassador to the Dragon Empire. Your Majesty, this is your chance to end this quickly. Diyun expected you to be weak, broken by grief. But your daughter has returned. Show him and everyone else that the Emperor and his heir are strong. Emperor Sangho nodded. Prepare all forces. We end this today. He handed Hannah to Junwoo. Keep her safe. That is all I ask. Junwoo held Hannah close as the Emperor and his warriors left the throne room. He could hear explosions in the distance. What have I gotten myself into? He said quietly. Hannah looked up at him and smiled. Safe, she said. Junwoo keeps me safe. And somehow, that simple trust gave Junwoo courage. He might not be a warrior or a diplomat. He might just be a simple cargo hauler from a small colony. But he could do this one thing. He could keep this little girl safe while her father fought to protect their empire. Minister Jae-sung approached them. Come, I'll take you to the royal quarters. You'll be safe there. As they left the throne room, Junwoo looked back at the chaos of warriors preparing for battle. He realized that his simple act of kindness in that alley had changed everything. Not just for Hannah, but for an entire empire. And the really scary part? The story wasn't over yet. It was only beginning. 6 months had passed since that terrible day when Diyun attacked the palace. Junwoo still remembered how scared he had been, hiding with Hannah in the royal quarters while explosions shook the walls. But the battle had ended quickly. Emperor Sangho's forces were ready, and Diyun had underestimated the loyalty of the dragon warriors. Diyun was now in prison, along with everyone who had helped him. The empire was at peace again, and Junwoo's life had changed in ways he never imagined. He woke up in his room in the palace. It was still strange to sleep in a bed this comfortable. The room was bigger than his entire old apartment. Servants brought him breakfast every morning. He still wasn't used to it. After getting dressed, Junwoo walked to Hannah's study room. She was already awake, sitting at a desk and practicing her writing. An old dragon named Master Donghyun was teaching her. Good morning, Junwoo, Hannah said with a bright smile. She spoke clearly now, no longer the silent, scared child from the alley. Good morning, little one, Junwoo replied. How are your lessons going? Master Donghyun nodded approvingly. The princess is doing very well. She learns quickly. Hannah showed Junwoo her writing. Look, I can write in 3 languages now. Junwoo smiled and ruffled her hair. That's amazing. You're so smart. After lessons, Hannah had combat training. Junwoo watched as she practiced with wooden swords under the guidance of Captain Sejin, the commander of a security detail. Yes, Junwoo now had his own security team. That was still weird to him. But the most amazing thing was watching Hannah use her dragon powers. She could make small flames dance in her hands. She could move faster than human eyes could follow. Her scales would shimmer when she was happy or excited. You're getting stronger every day. Captain Sujin said to Hannah. "Your mother will be proud." Hannah's smile faded a little at the mention of her mother. She still missed Empress Soare. Some nights, she had bad dreams and would run to Junwoo's room. He would hold her until she fell back asleep, just like he did in those first days. After training, they walked through the palace gardens. The flowers here were unlike anything on Earth. Some glowed softly. Others sang quiet melodies when the wind blew. Taemin found them by the fountain. He was wearing nice clothes now instead of his old cargo hauler uniform. He had become an instructor for the dragon pilots, teaching them about human ship designs. "Still weird seeing you as a teacher," Junwoo said with a grin. "Still weird living in a palace," Taemin replied. "But I'm not complaining. The food here is incredible." Myri joined them soon after. She worked in the palace medical center now, learning dragon medicine and sharing human medical knowledge. She looked excited about something. "I just finished a research project with the dragon healers," she said. "We found a way to combine human and dragon medical techniques. It's going to help so many people." Junwoo felt proud of his sister. She had found her place here, just like Taemin had. Emperor Sengho appeared on the garden path. These days, he smiled more often. Having Hannah back had healed something broken inside him. "Junwoo, walk with me," the emperor said. They left the others and walked through the palace grounds. Hannah skipped ahead of them, chasing colorful butterflies. "I want to thank you again," Emperor Sengho said, "for everything you've done for my daughter." "You don't need to keep thanking me," Junwoo replied. "She's a wonderful child. It's been an honor to help her." "She's not the only one who has changed," the emperor said, watching his daughter play. "The alliance between humans and dragons has grown stronger because of you. Other species see how we work together now. They see that different people can respect and help each other." Junwoo hadn't thought about it that way. He had just been trying to help one scared child. But somehow, that small act had created ripples across the galaxy. "Ambassador Wujin told me that trade between our people has increased by 300%, the emperor continued. "Human technology and dragon wisdom working together. It's creating something beautiful." A human diplomat named Wujin had arrived 3 months ago. He was working on formal agreements between Earth and the Dragon Empire. Young Mi, who had been at the palace during the attack, was helping him. That evening, there was a special ceremony in the throne room. Hannah was turning 9 years old. In dragon culture, this was an important age. It meant she was ready to begin her official training as the future empress. The throne room was filled with nobles, diplomats, and warriors from across the empire. Even some human representatives from Earth had come for the celebration. Hannah wore a beautiful dress that sparkled like starlight. Her small horns had been decorated with gold. She looked every bit like a princess. But when she saw Junwoo in the crowd, she waved at him like any normal child would. Emperor Sengho stood before his people and raised his hand for silence. "Today, my daughter takes an important step in her journey," he said. "She will begin her official education as the heir to the Dragon Empire. But before we start the ceremony, she has something she wishes to say." Hannah walked to the center of the room. She looked small surrounded by all these important people, but she stood tall and spoke clearly. "Many months ago, I was lost and afraid," Hannah said. "Bad people had hurt me. I didn't want to talk or trust anyone. I was alone in a dark place." She looked directly at Junwoo. "Then a kind human found me. He didn't know who I was. He didn't care about rewards or power. He just saw a child who needed help." The crowd was completely silent, listening to every word. "Junwoo gave me food when I was hungry. He gave me safety when I was scared. He taught me how to smile again." Tears filled Hannah's eyes, but they were happy tears. "In my culture, we have a special title. It's called heartfather. It means someone who may not be your parent by blood, but who loves you like family anyway." Emperor Sengho stepped forward and placed a hand on his daughter's shoulder. "Princess Hannah has requested that Junwoo be given this title officially. As her father and as emperor, I agree. From this day forward, Junwoo shall be known as heartfather to the Imperial heir." The crowd erupted in applause. Even the nobles who had been angry about a human in the palace were clapping. They had seen how Hannah had grown and healed. They couldn't deny that Junwoo had done something special. Junwoo felt tears in his own eyes. He walked forward and knelt before Hannah. She placed her small hands on his head in a traditional dragon blessing. "Thank you," she whispered, "for finding me, for keeping me safe, for being my family." "Always," Junwoo whispered back. "I'll always be here for you." The celebration lasted long into the night. There was music and dancing and more food than Junwoo had ever seen. Taemin ate so much he had to sit down. Myri danced with some of the dragon nobles, laughing and having fun. Late in the evening, Junwoo stood on a balcony overlooking the floating mountains. The moons of the dragon homeworld cast silver light across the sky. Emperor Sengho joined him. They stood in comfortable silence for a moment. "Do you ever regret it?" the emperor asked. "That day in the alley? Your life was simple before. Now you're involved in galactic politics and imperial ceremonies." Junwoo thought about it. His life had become complicated. He had responsibilities now. People depended on him. But when he thought about that crying child in the alley, he knew he would make the same choice again. No regrets. Junwoo said, "She needed help. That's all that mattered." "That's what makes you special," the emperor said. "You don't see yourself as a hero. You just see yourself as someone who did what was right. That's true nobility." They heard small footsteps behind them. Hannah appeared in her sleeping clothes, rubbing her eyes sleepily. "Can't sleep?" Junwoo asked. "I had a dream," Hannah said quietly, "but not a bad one this time. I dreamed about Mama. She was smiling. She told me she was proud of me." Emperor Sengho picked up his daughter and held her close. "She is proud of you, and so am I." Hannah yawned and rested her head on her father's shoulder. "Junwoo, will you tell me a story? The one about the stars." "Of course," Junwoo said. They went to Hannah's room together. The emperor sat beside his daughter's bed while Junwoo told her a story about brave explorers traveling through space. Hannah's eyes grew heavy, and soon she was asleep. Emperor Sengho covered her with a blanket and looked at Junwoo. "Thank you for giving me my daughter back, for giving our empire hope, for showing us that kindness is the greatest power in the universe." As Junwoo walked back to his room that night, he thought about how strange life could be. He had been a simple cargo hauler with a simple life. One moment of compassion had changed everything, but he wouldn't change a thing, because when he found that crying child in the alley, he had found something more precious than any treasure. He had found family. He had found purpose. He had found proof that sometimes the smallest act of kindness can change a galaxy. And as he drifted off to sleep, Junwoo smiled. Tomorrow would bring new challenges and new adventures. But whatever came next, he knew one thing for certain. He would always be there for the little dragon girl who had trusted him when she was most afraid. That was a promise he would keep forever.